Good evening, I'm Kelly Phillips.
And I'm Greg Kerr. Thanks for being with us tonight. The jury tonight has gone home in the Kelvin Roy trial, having made one decision to convict him of murder and prepare for another decision, how long the 32-year-old defendant should spend in prison for the crime. The jury in Judge Dennis Powell's courtroom in Orange returned with the guilty verdict shortly before 5. The panel decided that Roy deliberately crashed into a van on Old Highway 90 in Vidor and caused a collision that killed a 16-year-old girl, Lexy Bertrand. She died one day after the crash. She was a senior at Vidor High School. Roy's girlfriend was in the car with him February the 7th when he left Beaumont and when he crashed into the van driven by Lexy's mother in Vidor. They were on the way to a Walmart to get a gift for Lexy for a boy that she liked. The girlfriend testified the crash was intentional. Roy's attorney told the jury not to believe the girlfriend. The attorney argued that this is a case of manslaughter, not murder. He questioned the investigation. Throughout the trial, Roy showed little emotion during testimony or closing arguments. KFDM's Haley Boole is covering the trial. She joins us live from the Orange County Courthouse with reaction to the jury's verdict and some of the compelling arguments. Haley?
Greg, this was a long and emotional day as the case wrapped up. Family members from both sides and Vidor police officers who have been there throughout the trial waited outside the courtroom for about 2 hours as jurors deliberated. Now, inside the courtroom, before reading the verdict, the judge reminded the audience to keep their emotions in check and not show any outbursts. But as that guilty verdict was read, there was an immediate gasp and tears. Closing arguments today centered on whether Roy intended to crash a car into the minivan to injure his girlfriend, killing Bertrand as a result. The defense argued that Roy was intoxicated. He admitted to drinking, smoking marijuana, and a cigarette dipped in PCP while driving. But the collision was not intentional. The prosecution argued it was, pointing to testimony from Roy's girlfriend that he wanted to hurt or kill them both. Roy's attorney argued the charge should have been manslaughter. He maintains there was no evidence of intent and therefore no evidence to support a murder charge. He pointed to the testimony of Roy's girlfriend, alcohol and drugs found in her system after the crash, and discrepancies in her story, questioning the reliability of her testimony. One of the most emotional moments, though, of the day came when prosecutors showed jurors 2 photos, one of Lexy Bertrand smiling and one from her autopsy. There were gasps and tears as those went on the screen. The prosecutor said, quote, "This case is about Lexy Bertrand, this beautiful 16-year-old girl, a big sister to 3 young brothers." The prosecutor then pointed to an ankle bracelet on Lexy and said, quote, "This band around her ankle is the last piece of jewelry that Lexy will ever receive or wear. There won't be a senior ring, there won't be a wedding ring. There won't be a locket that had maybe a lock of her child's hair in it. This is it." She told jurors during closing arguments that voluntary intoxication was not a defense. She said, quote, "Basically what he did, as he might have strapped a parachute to his back, stepped out of the plane, and the consequences are what they are." Now, ultimately, jurors agreed with the prosecutors and convicted Roy of murder for the crash that killed 16-year-old Lexy Bertrand. The punishment phase starts tomorrow morning. Roy could face up to life in prison. Follow us online and on air for updates. Live in Orange, Haley Boole, KFDM 6 News.